So your child wants an iPhone, and probably not just any iPhone. Dancing around in your kiddo's head besides the sugar plums are pictures of them playing with the latest and greatest iPhone. You know, the one that's even newer and better than your iPhone. Don't fret. If your child is wondering how to save up for an iPhone as a kid, then you've got a fantastic opportunity here. You see, your child has an actual savings goal, and just one. This is amazing. They're light years ahead of where many other kids start with trying to save money for a bazillion things at once, then getting so frustrated with the lack of progress that they give up on everything and just settle on a fidget doodad at the checkout counter. By the way, if your child doesn't have just one savings goal, I've got you covered. I have a one-page guide for how they can work down to just one savings goal from all of their needs and all of their wants, and you can find that below. This is going to help them come up with the best savings goal for them right now. Let me walk you and your child through how to save up for an iPhone as a kid. And while we're at it, we'll turn this into a valuable money lesson they'll remember for years. Step number 1, get your parents' permission and talk about new responsibilities. First off, your child will need to have your buy-in to this entire process. If you're a kid reading this post, then definitely listen up. Otherwise, they could save up all this money and be severely disappointed in the end. Not only that, but you two need to have a money talk about what kinds of money responsibilities each of you will take on moving forward. That's because when your child figures out how to save pocket money to actually buy an iPhone, which they'll be able to do if they follow the steps below, then there will be new money responsibilities. Buying an iPhone is not like buying a t-shirt where the maintenance cost is mainly once and done, unless it's a dry clean t-shirt. Buying a phone is a significant piece of property that has monthly recurring charges. You need to answer questions like, who's going to pay for the data plan each month? Is that a child or a parent money responsibility? If the child currently has a phone plan, will adding a new iPhone to it incur higher fees? If so, who's going to cover the difference in costs? Can this phone be added onto an existing family plan, or will the iPhone not work with your current family plan? An iPhone is an expensive piece of property. Should your child have to also save up in order to protect it? For a cover, so that it won't crack. We all know how easily iPhones shatter, like mine did about a month ago, and insurance to cover it in case of damage or loss. If the iPhone breaks, but you're still under contract by phone, who is going to be responsible for replacing or repairing it? Step number 2, you need to create a visual and set up a savings space. Visuals are everything. When you're trying to keep your eyes on the prize, they are wonderful tools. They keep you motivated, especially for goals that are going to take a while to accomplish. So the first thing I want you to do is to create a visual of the iPhone that you want. You can print out an image from the Apple Store. You can snag an advertisement out of a catalog or a magazine. Just get your hands on an image of the iPhone that you want. Its color, its size, its shape, etc. The second part to this prep work is to set up a savings space, where you're going to set aside the money for that iPhone. You want it to be somewhere where you won't be tempted to touch the money and where you won't mix up the money you've designated for the iPhone to pay for something like going to the movies with friends on the weekends. You can use a piggy bank for kids, however, you might want to use a real savings account. Step number 3, look at your current money and money sources. So you've got the visual of your goal, you've got your mother's blessing for it, great job. Now it's time that we dig into some numbers and see how to save up for an iPhone as a kid. You need to answer the following questions. How much savings do you have right now? How much of those savings are you willing to use towards the iPhone versus spending that money on something else? Where do you currently earn money from? This could be allowance, chores you do around the house, a weekend job, or any number of ways. How much out of your current savings or your current earnings can you set aside each pay cycle to put towards your savings goal? Step number 4, you need to comparison shop to price your iPhone. Now we need to find out the price of your iPhone and the upkeep costs. The amount we come up with here will be your target savings goal amount. You're going to do some comparison shopping to find the best estimated price for what this iPhone is going to cost you. So you can go to an Apple store with your parents. How much will the iPhone model you want cost? If you can't make it to the store, then give them a call and ask a sales associate. You could shop online for the same model. How much is the price online? Bonus, if there is a variation in price, why do you think that is? Now search for a used version of the same model iPhone that you want. How much will that cost? What is the price difference between the new version and the used version? Find out if there's any sort of warranty, certification, or guarantee with that used version. Can the used version be insured at all? Some can't. Discuss with your parents which version is better for you to buy, the new one or the used one. Once you've gone through these exercises and discussed with your parents, write down the total cost of the phone. But this exercise does not end there. Remember that money responsibilities discussion you had above? You'll need to add in any of the extra costs having an iPhone brings that your parents decide it will be your responsibility. Depending on the money responsibilities that will be yours, you'll need to add in the following: the purchase cost of a protective case, insurance cost. If this is monthly, then I would research the cost and add in 3 months of this expense into your target savings goal amount. This will give you a buffer to be able to cover this cost while you earn more money to pay for upcoming monthly insurance bills. A monthly data plan. Again, if you're going to be responsible for this or for the difference in cost or your new upgrade will cost your family, then I'd multiply the monthly cost by 3 and add in 3 months worth of the expense to give you ample time to earn money for your future monthly costs. Step number 5, you need to figure out your target purchase date. You now have your target savings goal amount, which is the total cost of what you need to get what you want. And you know how much you can set aside each week, every other week, or monthly towards this goal. It's time to figure out how long it's going to take for you to save up for it. Your target purchase date is the target savings goal amount divided by the amount you can set aside. For example, if you're buying a brand new iPhone 6s and you found out that it will cost $374.99 with Virgin Mobile, that's actually the actual price, I had to research it myself, and you know you can set aside $10 a week, then you would divide $374.99 by 10. This tells you that it will take you approximately 37 and a half weeks to save up for your iPhone, which is a little over 9 months. One more example, if you can set aside $50 a month, then you divide the $374.99 from 50, and you'll see that it's going to take you an estimated 7.5 months to save up for your iPhone. Step 6, actually make the purchase. All right, if you are at this step, you are one happy kid. You have saved up for your iPhone, and today is the day that you are actually going to make the purchase. You'll want to make the purchase online or in store, whichever you chose when initially pricing the iPhone. You'll likely need your parents' help to drive you, use their credit card while you give them cash in an amount, or have them write out a check on your behalf. You'll also need their help to potentially add your new phone to an actual phone plan. My last tip for you to do right before you make this purchase, is to do one more scan of deals out there. It's likely been weeks and months since you did your price comparison shopping, and it's possible that there are online coupon codes, store deals, or new opportunities for you to shave some of the cost price off of the phone, and then you can use that money instead for another purpose. On the flip side, it's entirely possible that the price actually went up since you did your research, and you don't want to be caught off guard at checkout. Whew, well, that's all I've got for you. Follow these steps above, and you'll no longer have to wonder how to save up for an iPhone as a kid. Instead, you'll be holding one in your hands.